If someone asks you to send an email, then accept it. Don't reject it because you'll cause further problems later down the call. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA, but serving clients worldwide. And here today in day 16 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about accepting the email approach. And before we get into it, feel free to click the link below to get an additional 17 strategies that are not shared in this training. So today we're going to talk about, look, it's something that you will hear come up tons, okay? Why don't you send me an email? Sounds great. Could you put that into an email? How about you send me an email? You'll get variations of this in almost every phone call. It's actually unusual where you get onto a cold call where someone says no to being sent an email. Email's a safe way, for example, to field rejection or to tell someone you're not interested, okay? Now, the other element to it is that someone who's also interested will always also want an email. So what's interesting here is that the amount of, for example, people that want an email as a means of, for example, saying no is not that different to the amount of people that fundamentally say yes. Now, not looking at them kind of comparatively, but just proportionally. For all of the people that say no, that ultimately want an email, or will say, why don't you send me an email? To the people that say yes, that will still require an email, it's probably proportionally the same. Even if the overall numbers of the no's are different, 80% of people that say no will want an email. It'll probably be the same of 80% of the people that say yes will want an email. So always with that in mind, accept the email, okay? And we're going to talk about why you must do that now, because if your aim for the actual call, and we'll go on to talk about aims and objectives in a later training, but regardless of what your aim is in the call, when someone offers you something, don't you dare say no. If they're offering you something, okay, if they're offering you their email, if they're offering you a generic email, it's still important to ultimately accept the actual taking of that email, because even if you're going for something entirely different, a face-to-face meeting, the setting up of a demo, a callback, a follow-up in a couple of months, whatever it might be, you're still going to fundamentally need that email. So if they're offering it to you, then take the email. Because, of course, if you can imagine, everyone likes people who are agreeable with them. Look, Frank, is it good if you just send me an email? Sure thing, Deepak. What's a good email for you, buddy? Yeah, sure. It's DEE at etc. etc. Okay, amazing. So do you see that the level of congruency and fluency and agreeableness that creates, and what people, or what sometimes us cold callers do when we get into that place of being told, how about you send me an email? We try and immediately go for a workaround, a switcheroo, a sidestep, a step change, a way to say, well, you know what, I can send you an email, but I could send you an email, or how about, what if? And as soon as any of those words are heard, at the moment at which someone says, why don't you send me an email? They feel that feeling of, this guy is, this gal is, this person is disagreeing with me. And you want to give the impression, you want to convey absolute agreeableness. And that's the biggest fundamental thing here that you want to do. Because if you're agreeable in the initial stages, when someone says, how about you send me an email, Deepak? How about you send me an email, Frank? It's easier to work with them later down the line for the call. What sometimes happens is someone hears, Richard, why don't you send me an email? That they think that this call's coming to a close. No, there is still time, okay? There is still time. And we'll go on to talk about, of course, what that means and what you should do with it, and all of those elements. But fundamentally, when it comes to accepting the email, then you should, whenever anyone says to you, how about you send me an email? Take the email. capture the email, because you're going to, you know what? You're going to need that email down the line anyway. And with that in mind, you might as well take it then and there, because even if in your mind there's a better strategy, in your mind there's a better way to relay the information before we decide whether an email is relevant, the taking down of an email takes only 10 to 15 seconds, and presumably you've got the right person anyway because you've built a targeted list. So even if it's a no right now, you'll still want that email to maintain some level of correspondence with them in the future. So don't get into the habit of spitting out or uttering rejection because of an emotional flare up when someone says, why don't you just send me an email? Because of course, a lot of the time it can be just a way to pass you off, to pour you off, to send you away without really saying, I'm not going to follow up, mate. Just send me an email and let's just forget about it. Yeah. Like that might be what someone's thinking, but in all of the other alternative scenarios, right? I might be interested. I could be convinced. I don't know. I'm busy right now. Maybe later. You're still going to need their email. So accept the dang email. So it's something that I see time and time again blow up phone calls when people become unstuck, when someone asks you to send them an email and immediately you start stuttering, stammering because you think that this is going to basically be the end of the call. I'm basically being told to sod off, which is not always the case. You can't read into their emotions. You don't know what's really going on, or you may well do given their tone say, look, just Frank, listen, just send me an email, mate, okay? So they might be distracted, they might be busy, but don't feel that it's a personal rejection because it's nothing to do with you as a person. They have 101 other things going on which you know nothing about, for which reason they might be passing you off. So whenever you get asked to take an email, to send an email, write the email down, okay?
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.